Hello everybody and welcome to Letterbox Book Club. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today we will be discussing Jesus Christ. Tessa Bailey's Fix Her Up.
Yeah.
Dipping our toes in a bit of Tessa Bailey. She's been floating around the book talk space and we just haven't had a chance to get to her yet.
Yeah. Jeez, okay, we don't have the book, but we have the Goodreads and it's pretty long, but
You can just cut half of it out.
Nah, it's fine, I'll do it all. Don't care. Fight me.
Above and beyond.
Georgette Castle's family runs the best home renovation business in town, but she picked balloons instead of blueprints and they haven't taken her seriously since. Frankly, she's over it. Georgie loves planning children's birthday parties and making people laugh, just not at her own expense. She's determined to fix herself up into a woman of the world, whatever that means. Phase 1, new framework for her business, a website from this decade perhaps. Phase 2, a gut reno on her wardrobe, FYI leggings are pants. Phase 3, updates to her exterior, do people still wax? Phase 4, put herself on the market and stop crushing on Travis Ford. Living her best life means facing the truth. Georgie hasn't been on a date since, well, ever. Nobody's asking the town clown out for a night of hot sex, that's for sure. Maybe if people think she's having a steamy love affair, they'll acknowledge she's not just the little sister who paints faces for a living. And who better to help demolish that image than the resident sports star and tabloid favourite? Travis Ford was Major League Baseball's hottest rookie when an injury ended his career. Now he's flipping houses to keep busy and trying to forget his glory days. But he can't even cross the street without someone recapping his greatest hits or making a joke about his bat. And then there's Georgie, his best friend's sister, who is not a kid anymore. When she proposes a wild scheme that they pretend to date to shock her family and help him land a new job, he agrees. What's the harm? It's not like it's real. But the girl Travis used to tease is now a funny, full of life woman, and there's nothing fake about how much he wants her.
Oof. Just the blurb alone. The Goodreads description. Yeah, it's always a bit more than the blurb. So now I can't really cast any judgment.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say the whole essential makeover description, it was hardly really impactful on the story anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, very good. Love that. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions, Kenzie. This is interesting. Again, we haven't even pre-discussed anything, so who knows what can happen.
I loved this book.
Oh, good. Thank God. Love that.
I love this book. Yeah, I was very hesitant after coming off Ali Hazelwood's bullshit. That's still right in front of me. And then I was worried because it was called Fix Her Up. I was worried that it was going to be all about how she was coming into her own, but in a really naive way and stuff.
Yep.
So I was worried about that.
And, the whole changing yourself
yourself to please a man. Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, I loved it. I thought it was funny. It read really well. It was fast. It was good plot points. I knew what was going to happen because it always happens. But anyway, and
just
then,
good build up in that case.
Good resolution.
Love that. Yeah, my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I loved it too. I don't know. It was really refreshing.
Yeah.
Really easy read. My only qualm was just the passage of time within this book, because it seemed a lot for, I'm going to assume 2 weeks, but then it felt more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because he had the 2-week deadline to become a commentator.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, is this all happening in this 2-week period?
Yeah.
But other than that, I have no real other qualms.
I have a couple of qualms, but...
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, loved Georgie as a character. Again, with the Kindle, we don't really get a proper blurb, so I got really fucking confused and I thought it was a joke that she was going to be a clown. I'm like, are you serious? But party entertainers, you do you.
Yeah.
We love a baseball player or a sports player that has a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
Love that. But yeah, but from the get-go, I was enthralled and really into the story just from the first chapter. It felt real and believable, and it's not a wishy-washy sort of dialogues. They're all the hard asses to each other, and that's kind of the real aspect to it. And just despite Georgie's family issues and stuff, it's nice that they're able to kind of reconnect with their siblings in a little way. Loved the girls club that they made. Fantastic. Women supporting women.
Yes.
And it just felt she actually had friends and an outside social life. And normally we get a lot of female MCs who just live in their work or live at work and just have no other real social sense.
I mean, I feel it definitely felt like that at the start, but then she was nah, fuck it, I'm going to make this club or whatever, and then it gets...
And we're going to support each other, because obviously the men in their lives are very dull. But I also liked Travis and his journey, because it's third point of view, but still from their
dual pov
in a sense.
Yeah.
And I loved reading Travis's intentions for doing things and how he was feeling and how he was struggling, and I thought that was quite different.
Yeah.
And it turns out he's not just the arsehole or presumed sex god or whatever everyone thinks he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved that.
did like as well, because I feel like I didn't realize it was like a fake dating book, but I feel like sometimes in like fake dating books, there's always that like tension and stuff or whatever, and then they really play on it and it's really drawn out. But this one, they're like, okay, we can't do anything, and then they're like, well, fuck it, like we're gonna fuck anyway, like.
yeah, it's like the next day they break the own rules. Yeah, I suppose if there was a qualm, that was probably really it. Is like, it was pretty fast paced in that sense.
It's like, you were never just fake dating.
No, so like, what's the point in proposing the idea anyway? Yeah, no, lovely.
I loved the first chapter, just straight into action. Like, she throws a container of takeaway at him, and he's like, get out of bed, stop being a slob. Like, just because you're injured.
Yeah, it's like, he has every right to be bitter and upset about the life or the career that he lost, but also at the end of the day, you have your own personal responsibility to get your life on track. Yeah. And I loved that, Georgie just gave him that little kick in the butt. And it really establishes the tone of the book as well. Like, it's like a no bullshit book. Yeah, again, no wishy-washy, no like dialogue of like walking around eggshells. It's like, do you want to be known as the drunken slob now? Yeah, and it's like,
you've had a crush on him for 10 years or whatever, but like, you're not going to let that intimidate you. You're like, no, I'm here to help a friend. Like, and I love that, like, it wasn't entirely used against her, that crush either. Because it could very well have been just like a ploy as well. Yeah. But no, in those moments, she was a genuine friend, concern. Because like they grew up with each other and everything as well, essentially. Yeah. So I loved the concern and the kick up the ass to like, get your life together, bro. And then the story just picks up from there, and we watch Travis blossom. Yes. And we also watch Georgie blossom in her own right as well, too. Lovely. At first I thought that her family's company name, because they are a real estate...
They're a real estate flipper.
Yeah, flipper. They demo houses or whatever. They, like, renovate houses, I guess. And it's called Brick and Morty. Yeah. And I was like, is this a play on, like, Rick and Morty? I was like, is this going to play into it somehow? But then it was like, oh, no, like, her dad's name is Morty. Yeah. So then, like, bricks, because, like, houses. And I was like, oh, ha, ha, ha. But then also, clever. I couldn't get past Rick and Morty. And then also, in the Netflix show Big Mouth, there is a character called, I think it's, like, Marty or whatever, but they say it with, like, an accent. So, like, Morty. And then he eats scallops. And it was like, Marty, the scallops. And I just couldn't get past that. So every time it came
you just thought about that. You just Pavloved yourself.
Oh, and it's just so funny. So, the scallops, Marty. Because he's allergic, they make him sick, but it's funny. But he still eats them. He's like, it's
like lactose intolerant people who just have to eat a tub of ice cream.
Yeah, every lactose intolerant person I've ever met doesn't give a shit that they're lactose intolerant.
Doesn't give a shit, but they have to shit.
They have to shit.
I initially thought the Rick and Morty thing was about, just the Rick and Morty thing. Because, this book seemed pretty relatable in the jokes and the memes. Yeah. So that's, in my pea-brain mind, that's very recent.
Yeah. I liked as well how she, Georgette, what a name. First of all, she wears overalls, so I feel personally attacked. Okay. Because I live in overalls. Anyway, but like she like goes to the op shop and like genuinely just like doesn't have like a fashion sense or whatever. And I'm like, that's so relatable because like I feel like in this society of ever changing fashion trends, especially at the moment with like all this Y2K stuff coming back, but I feel like it was such a fast transition. And then it's like, especially being that we're like not quite millennial but like not quite Gen Z, it's like hard to find our like spot in like what fashion, like because apparently skinny jeans are not in anymore.
Hey, I dress for comfort, baby, so like I don't care.
And then also being not so much anymore, but like when I had James, like being a young mum or whatever,
you have to like
and like
style
and like trying to find my like mum style, but also within this like scope of like ever-changing fashion
and just like
and trends. So I liked that she was like unapologetically just like, it wasn't like, ooh, I don't know how to dress. Like I go to the op shop.
It's not pick me.
Yeah, it's not pick me. Yeah, and it's not like, oh, I walk around in my Galaxy leggings because they're so cool.
You're never gonna
I'm never letting that go. It's just like, no, like I'm just dressing for comfort and for herself, which is great. And then when she went and had her like makeover or whatever, it wasn't like, oh, I need to go and do this for Travis or whatever. She was like, no, like I just want to go and do this for myself and like experience it, like so like this is like what really like fancy women do or whatever. Like,
or like this is how like you properly dress for your body type and stuff like that as well. Because, yeah, that's definitely a big thing. Yeah, I related to that in a sense because, like, I'm not, like, the most feminine of ladies, but, like, you know, there are points in time when you just want to explore yourself a little bit and, like, dip your toes in it. And, yeah, I liked her little, makeover adventure as well, that it just started off as, like, an apology, and then it's like, all right, well, let me fix you up then. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And yeah, her makeover...
Also, but like, apology... an apology that, like, wasn't needed. Like, she went out of her way to apologise to this woman for harassing Travis, but I
suppose she doesn't want to be seen as mean.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. And yeah, like, she obviously reaped the benefits of, like, the makeover, but good that Travis admitted that, like, he liked her in her overalls anyway. Yeah. Like, obviously it wasn't for him, but he appreciated the beauty that she is with the makeover, I guess. Yeah. Like, we call it a makeover, but, like,
and
she
then
just
I think
splurged.
As well, like, at one point, like, she had, like, her hair down or something, and she's like, and I think he was saying, like, oh, like, she's just as beautiful, like, I don't prefer her either way, like, with her hair up or with her hair down. And I love that because, you know, usually, like, in these books, there's always, like, oh, like, she's wearing makeup or whatever, and like, oh, like, she's so beautiful, like, I've never seen her, like, in makeup or whatever. Or then there's, like, a big thing about, like, she looks so beautiful, like, without makeup, blah blah blah, like, but this, like, it makes it even more beautiful. It was just like, no, I can appreciate, like, Travis can appreciate. My God, I'm having a bad day. It was like this on the way home as well. Travis can appreciate both sides of her for what they are, and I like that. Her
whole beautiful self.
Yeah, even when he, first of all, when he gate crashes that kid's birthday party, which is, like, weird.
I feel like that's a breach of privacy.
Yeah, but also because I guess he's a celebrity. They're like, hey, whatever. Yeah. And, like, she's in, like, full clown makeup, and he's just like, you're gorgeous, or whatever.
He's just like, I love you right there and then.
Yeah.
Essentially.
He's like, I'm sad.
Yeah. I think at one point, she cut her hair as well, dramatically. And he's like, oh, you got her hair. Realised that her hair was shorter, and, like, she got this thing called bangs, because he didn't know what bangs were called, obviously, because men don't know haircuts.
Yeah.
But, he just appreciated it, and I love that. But, yeah, what else did you like and enjoy?
I liked that the conflict wasn't, like, a centre plot, like,
like the miscommunication
stuff, and then, like, with Stephen or whatever, like, because Stephen's like, I don't agree with you dating my sister, but, like, that's standard. I liked the little, like, quips or, like, little passages about how, like, her mum was, like, a wing woman or whatever, like, locking the dog in the front room so, like, they could go out,
they can have a bit of a bone,
a bit of a bone and then her mum just being like, oh, like, I told Travis, like, this stuff or whatever, like,
and, like, it was established,
her favourite food.
Never tell your mum anything in this book, like, 'cause she'll just sing like a canary. I liked how with the girl club as well, with Rosie and Bethany, like, initially we didn't like Bethany, but, like, I grew to like her.
First I was really confused about who all these characters were, because I thought she only had one sister, but then there was, like, she had two sisters.
Well, Bethany's sister, Vivian's
the mum.
Kristen is
sister-in-law,
and then Rosie's just a friend.
Yeah.
I just liked how they all achieved their little dreams together as well.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be a pretty busy book because, we had the girls' club. We had, I suppose, the Georgie Travis romance. Yeah. We have, like, her expanding her little business. Yeah. I suppose that could be plotted with the girls' club and then, Travis's commentary waiting period. Yeah. And then we got the mud thing.
Tough
Mudder, yeah.
I want to do one of them.
Yeah. Oh, you did something similar, but
Spartan.
The Spartan, that's right. Because I was trying to think of what it was. It just didn't really involve mud, but it was probably a dirty event still.
It wasn't meant to involve mud, but it was like 34 degrees, so the mud just unmudded.
Just demudded.
Yeah.
So but when that came up, I just, like, thought of you and your Spartan thing, and I'm like, oh, Kenzie would have really liked this.
Yeah, I did, thanks.
And so I thought it was very busy in that aspect, but no, everything kind of came together and quite cleanly and concisely. And sure, we have a little miscommunication, but, like, we with the whole, like, Georgie telling his father that she's a kid or whatever, and it was just a crush or whatever.
Travis telling his dad,
And, we see in his, like, kind of inner monologue and thoughts that, like, he had to do it because he didn't want his father to talk about her, and, like, we get defensive about that.
But I knew, like, as soon as that happened, I was like, someone's gonna, like, have overheard this.
And it had to be Stephen. I fucking hate Stephen. Yeah. I don't care. He's not redeemable. Yeah. I want to talk about my hatred for Stephen real quick, and then we could probably get into plot stuff. Stephen, he wants a family with Christian, right? Yeah. But, like, Christian's not too keen on kids yet. Yeah. And it's like he's overly sort of pressuring or persisting that. Red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, not allowing Bethany to flip, because women can flip things and demolish things
She
too.
just stages the houses. She's the designer.
She's like the pretty face
But, like,
of the company.
Let's go back to the kids thing for a minute, because like not only is he like, I want kids right now, but he's also like, I bought a minivan.
Yeah, like bro.
just to prepare. I was like, okay, what if it takes you 5 years? Like then that car is at least like 5 years old. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then he comes and gets her from a meeting, and he's like, well, I looked at the calendar that said when you're ovulating, so now we need to have sex.
Yeah, like, yeah, I don't know, I didn't like that. Maybe it's just to set him up to be that asshole.
Yeah.
Because he's always going to have that overprotectiveness of Georgie.
Yeah.
And, like, despite Georgie even saying, like, the family doesn't really pay attention to her, and yet this is where he wants to start stepping up and being the overprotective big brother.
Yeah, and it's like, also, you just nepo babied your way into, like, this fantastic job, like.
And then you're using your authority to stop your own sister from flipping a house or leading a project. Come on, bro.
I know, and it's like, what would be the harm if you gave her, like, a dingy fixer-upper? Like, and she's like, and you're like, okay, we'll do this. Like,
or even just
2
one
bedroom
room
to start with. Yeah, or a room,
Or, like, give her a chance, but no. I think it's just to highlight how much of a dick he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't care that he accepted Travis and Georgie in the end. Yeah. I'm just like, well, it was going to happen either way, so fuck you.
Yeah. And it's like, at least Travis like had the decency to like go to him and be like, hey, like just let me know. Like,
Travis has been good the entire time. Like, he kept no secrets really from nobody.
Yeah.
And like, he's just an honest guy.
Yeah.
I love Travis. He's so good. Poor guy. He's just upset. And that's fair enough because he lost his career. Who wouldn't?
Yeah. But I guess, like, you can commentate longer than you can play anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like you've just landed yourself a really good gig.
Yeah, and especially what the details were, just home games, and he doesn't even have to leave anywhere.
I have heard on the line, though, that, like, baseball players are, like, notoriously, like, just fuckboys. And, like, very much like basketball players, so
right.
I get it.
You get it. I think I've seen, like, one, like, local baseball game. And, like, I don't think it wasn't that exciting. I think baseball's boring.
Says the girl who likes cricket.
Hey, cricket's more exciting. I knew you were gonna bring that up. Hey, can we agree that golf is boring as well?
Golf is boring.
Yeah. But no, I just think baseball, like, I don't know. Something about it is just so slow. Baseball, I don't really rate it. But yeah, as the girl who likes cricket, it's fucking offended. I could watch a whole 5-day test match and be entertained. It's great.
It's taken me to this year to enjoy watching the football. So.
No, you're slowly getting there. We're working on it.
I'm slowly getting there.
Sports ball.
I'm trying my best.
Well, we'll go to a T20 game, or Luke can take you to a T20 game.
No thanks.
T20 is more exciting.
I know it is, but no thanks.
Better than baseball still. Anyway.
I'll go to the baseball, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I loved that there was no, like, real... like, we didn't have to, like, read any descriptions of a baseball game or anything. Like, yeah, it's very much... It's just part of the setting and not... the focus.
And then he hits the ball.
And then they go to a park and have a nice little hit session, which is great. But I thought, if you have a fucked up shoulder, surely even as a hobby, it would be pretty gnarly and hurting if he's just whacking. Yeah. But he's probably not doing full tilt either.
Yeah. And also because he's throwing the ball, like, up himself for the first couple or whatever.
And he just...
Yeah, so he's getting... And also, I guess if you have, like, an amateur throwing the ball to you, like, it's not like a fast-paced ball or anything.
I'd imagine Georgie's throwing underarm to him, and he's just going...
Yeah. But also, then they have sex.
In the dugout.
And this is at the high school. Yeah. And it's like, this feels like a sex offence. Like,
waiting to happen.
If you get caught.
Lucky there are no cameras.
I thought that they were going to get caught or something. Oh, yeah, there'd be like a camera. Like
in the limousine, when they're having sex in the limousine.
My God,
I thought, like, why do we need sex in cars, in vehicles?
With drivers. Like,
with drivers. But, like, I know a limo is long and there's, like, a big gap between.
Partition.
Yeah, so... Like, I get that, but come on.
But it's like, get a Tesla. Like, get a self-driving Tesla.
I would not trust a Tesla. Some things humans just need to control, and I think vehicles is one of them.
Have you seen, the thing is, like, because there's not as many VW bugs anymore.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, instead of punch buggy, it's Tesla titty twister.
I love it.
I got Luke yesterday.
Oh, did you? Yeah. But if he did it to you...
I said he can grab my entire boob in his mouth and do it. No.
Compromise.
No, I was like,
Very
you can't
Adam.
touch the nipple, but...
Yeah, it's a bit sensitive.
You can just... Yeah, you can twist the entire breast.
Or even just, like, give you a little poke or something and just say it, and the sentiment is still there.
Yeah.
Tesla titty twister. Oh, love it.
Yeah. Also,
rip V-dubs.
How old were you when you realised when you take a medication and it says like, do not operate heavy machinery.
Oh, a long time.
That it meant like,
car.
don't drive your car.
It's like,
not don't go and drive a forklift.
Don't go and drive an excavator.
Yeah, because I was definitely this many years old.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it took too long. Oh, well, but now we know.
Now we know not to drive.
Never. Ever. Trying to think of what other aspects I liked. I was a little bit worried towards the end because there's a moment early in the book where this kid drops off their takeaway or something and he's like, can you do a clinic for us? And he's like, no, because he's depressed, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But at the end, he brings them to the game.
Yeah.
And gives them like a booth side access to the game. I just thought that it didn't seem genuine. It seemed more as a ploy just to get Georgie back. It's like, look, I'm doing these nice things. Love me again.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, yeah, he really wanted to fix himself. And he really wanted to prove that, you know, he's capable of doing these things kind of without Georgie. Because he goes through stints where he's like, Georgie is like the air I breathe. Like, I need her by my side to live. Blah, blah, blah.
And it's like, all right, reel it in, buddy.
But yeah, but it's also like, you know, he genuinely wants to do this for himself, essentially. And so, yeah, it was really out of the kindness of his heart and a bit of a turnaround, which is great. But yeah, I was just worried that it was just like, look, Georgie, give me brownie points and love me again. But no, it was genuine.
I want to go back to the sex for a second.
Sure, okay.
This is where my qualm... I have qualm, and then I have unqualm.
Okay.
What is the opposite of qualm? A like?
I don't know. Yeah, like.
Unqualm. Okay. So, my qualm is, why the fuck is there always really, really weird, dirty talk? Like,
yeah, I found that this was a little bit better than the other books we've seen.
Yeah.
We've read, sorry.
Yeah. Better, but, like, also, first of all, he starts calling her baby girl, like, immediately, like, before any sex or whatever.
I feel like it was just condescending.
Yeah.
In the beginning,
like
it's
princess.
like, blah, 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 baby girl.
Yeah. Anyway, and so then also, sorry, it's just all about, I know, you take my dick so well or whatever, baby girl. Like, whatever, okay, cool. I don't need that. Like, it takes me out of the moment. Like, I'm like, stop talking to me. Like, just do me. Anyway.
Let's talk more action.
Yeah. Anyway, and then,
just do me.
Yeah, so then my unqualms, though, were, I will call them my unqualms.
You're balancing it out.
My dequalms.
We have an equilibrium of qualms.
So, Georgie is a virgin.
Yep.
And, like, I think there's only, like, one instance of him being like, oh, okay, like, I kind of assumed. But he's like, so this is what it's going to be. Like, I'm going to be your first time or blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, it wasn't like, she's a virgin. Like, she's so inexperienced.
And he was turned off by that, essentially.
But he's just
turned
like,
away.
it is what it is. Like, yeah. And then they
just, do it eventually.
Yeah. And then there wasn't, like, this big, like, awkward. Oh, like, this is her first time. Like, she's so tired or, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah. They just had sex or whatever. Cool. And then my other dequalm was...
Wow, we're tipping the scales. We've got more qualm than good.
No, we've got... It's a dequalm.
Oh, dequalm. Sorry.
Yeah,
dequalm's better. Yeah.
So, was every time they had sex, he used a condom.
We love
And there was no conversation about her being on the pill, and there was no conversation about, like, ooh, I want to, like, come in here or whatever. I think he said that at one point, but, like, also, like, with the condom, like, fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, and yeah, so every time they had sex, he used a condom, and it wasn't, like, highlighted or anything. It was just, like...
He ripped off the
plastic. Yeah, it's just, like, oh, I heard him, like, ripping plastic or whatever, and then, like, he rolled it down his length or whatever.
Yeah.
One more qualm, now that we're talking about the sex.
Oh, now we're balanced.
Yeah. So, I don't like that, like, I hate it. Her vagina was referred to as her sex, which we've discussed before, and then, like, he ran his finger down my folds or whatever, and it's like,
just say it.
Just say it, like, I know it's not, anatomically
I know you don't
correct.
I know you don't like the word pussy. It was said a couple of times, but like,
in that context, say that instead of my folds or my sex, or just say vagina. Like,
I mean, you can only say it so much before it gets a little old. You need to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Be it Tessa Bailey, just for the condoms alone, you have lifelong fans.
Yeah. Yeah. Subscribe.
Yeah.
I might go and buy the physical book now. Just
nothing's gonna stop you.
Yeah.
And he didn't make it like awkward. There was a moment where he's like, what did you imagine your first time? And she's like, oh, on the couch watching Netflix, like the Netflix and chill innuendo. And like they just did it.
Yeah.
And, like, that's cool. And he wasn't like necessarily nervous, although he was worried that like losing control in like the sexual lust. And I get that because he's so used to a hookup and you get to your point and call it a day.
Yeah.
But he really tried to take his time with her and all that type of stuff.
And they stayed the night cuddling.
We love that. A bit of aftercare and stuff like that. I liked that after the initial, first sexual interaction, they weren't boning everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is the common thing. I still felt the boning in the limo was a bit unnecessary. Yeah. And
it was celebratory burning.
Celebratory, and also at their house at the dinner.
Yeah.
When they went and
Oh,
sussed out the backyard,
dinner,
the family dinner. Yeah, I just thought,
yeah, I was like,
your folks are next door.
Doing.
Yeah. They're not just out for a smoko. They're just I thought it was tasteful as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, the dirty talk, well, like not really dirty talk, which I found was pretty good. Because obviously in other books, I don't know, the males can get really like kind of like overly aggressive and overly like dirty, describing things. But he was just like, they were having some conversations and stuff as well as it was happening, and I just thought it was very tasteful and lovely. Yeah. So
I was really worried about the limo. Because I was like, they're going to do anal. Like,
anal is what you're worried about.
I was like, I'm scared.
I mean, yeah.
I don't fuck with that.
Took a minute to realise the position they were in, and then they're like, oh, her face was pressed against the sheet, the seat or whatever. I'm like,
I was like, now. I am confused.
You're going to do like an equation.
You have to like go back and like read it. Like,
I thought, all the sex scenes were tasteful, lovely.
Yeah.
I'll just go through, see if there's anything else real quick.
It's hard with a book that you like.
Yeah,
it's like...
how do we feel about the whole competition to date Travis situation?
Oh, yucky.
Yeah, I've always hated the notions of as a bet to get with somebody, or to get with somebody as like a revenge ploy, or anything like that. But that's normally towards the female MC. I didn't mind that it was on Travis, just for that little flip, because it's always our female main characters that get the joke or the revenge or whatever. But I loved that ultimately Georgie was kind of dismissive of it, and she realized like she didn't necessarily want to be a part of it either. I did like that. Like I did enjoy that someone dropped the trophy at her house, like the winner of dating Travis Ford, and she like threw it out. Yeah, which is good on her.
Yeah, good on her. But I did enjoy that little bit of like.
It's a bit funny. Yeah. But and we also got to, read how Travis was feeling about that, and he was like actively avoiding people. Yeah. Like imagine being like, just the local sports celebrity and women were hanging off you.
Yeah, and then
like,
also you wouldn't know
who to trust.
Who to trust, like what a genuine interaction would be, because if it's someone's just trying to get you to ask them out for drinks or whatever.
Yeah. And honestly, he kind of owned his reputation, because he was known as, like, the fuckboy, and he would, like, hook up all the time and all that type of stuff. But I'm glad that we saw him, like, change in that aspect as well.
And then I liked that we saw Georgie defend him.
Yeah, for sure, in front of those people as well.
At the bar,
because, there were even a couple instances throughout the book where, like, they'd talk to him, be like, oh, because he was nicknamed Two Bats, which is pretty funny. Yeah. I hated it. Every time I read it, I hated it, because obviously, I hated that Travis hated it. Yeah, and he would just allow them to talk to him like that way, because he didn't want to, like, try and convince people that he's not that guy anymore. And everyone just makes their assumptions, and they just wanted to, make him seem like a top dog. But it was nice when Georgie stood up to him and everything, and it's a shame that his father kind of brought that up as well. And that was like the
catalyst. I like that his father, there was that conflict of like his father was a failure or I'm assuming alcoholic or whatever.
Yeah, I think he was alcoholic and depressed and just a nasty
and his
divorce.
mum and his dad both didn't want him like in the divorce or whatever.
Yeah, that's so sad.
But I liked that it was brought up, he confronted him, and it was concise. It wasn't this long drawn out thing like he wasn't this mysterious figure.
Blah blah blah. Yeah. And that's the thing with this book as well, like it highlights all those pretty serious issues, like family issues, but everyone like comes to a head and it gets resolved like kind of respectfully and tastefully and concisely, and really enjoyed it. And like that's how like big conversations should go, particularly even with Georgie. Like Bethany sort of like made the vow to listen to her a bit more and like treat her as a regular sister, and like Stephen even admitted towards the end that he'll do better as well.
And this is why I enjoyed this book as well, because there's a plot and then there's conflicts and it's brought up and it's dealt with and we're moving on. Like it's nice and fast and concise. We're not and
it's reasonable and it's not silly.
We're not sitting on an issue so much that it becomes stale, or we're not sitting on an issue
hold it against him
and then it doesn't get resolved, or it does but it's really rushed to resolve it.
It's believable and it's very mature in that sense.
So when Travis confronts his dad or whatever, and he's talking about Georgie, and then because his dad's like, oh, like I knew you'd change for a woman or whatever, like you're just like your mother or some shit, and then
it's like a whore like your mother or something, he said.
This is when Travis is like, it's just a kid's crush, like she's a kid with a kid's crush, I just used her to like get the job, blah blah. And that's when Stephen overhears it
Because he wanted to satisfy what his father was validating.
This is again another little qualm that I have, but I guess like it's in so many books, but like, this miscommunication trope. And it's like, surely, like, yes, Stephen would be angry, but it's like, surely he would have it, like, Travis would have a chance to explain to Stephen, hey, like, you obviously, like, you've seen how I interact with your sister, like, you know that I obviously love her, like, I only said these things to get my dad off my case. Yeah. And even Stephen, having known Travis's dad, should have maybe, like, had a second.
And, like, look, maybe, because sometimes you just got to bullshit for the sake of appeasing them. Yeah. And that's exactly what Travis did. Yeah, and then that's the tough matter when, like, Stephen and Dominic or whoever were holding him back, it's like, bro, let him speak. Yeah. that frustrated me. Yeah. But I suppose in that moment, you know, Georgie felt like immense heartbreak, and obviously she probably wouldn't want to hear him out in that situation anyway. Yeah. But still, like, yeah. But I'm glad that he roped Bethany into pushing Georgie along in order for his plan to succeed about declaring his love on his debut. Yeah. Which was cute. I think the marry me was a bit too much.
I was going to get to that. Yeah. I was waiting for when you were going to bring that up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was a bit too much. Again, because with the, I don't know, lack of, I suppose, passage of time, like how long has this been? Has it been 2 weeks? Has it been a month? Whatever. I thought the marriage was a bit too soon.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on the TV. It's his debut. Her sister's in on it. Yeah. Because he asked.
And because he gave her his house to flip as well. Like, if that's not a huge motivator, I don't know what else is.
Yeah, and so she's watching his first debut, and this is when he's like, oh, I've got, like, the high school team here with me.
For brownie points.
Blah, blah, blah. No, and he's like, I love you, like...
I'm a better person with you, or that whole big spiel. Yeah. You saved me, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, like, please marry me.
Yeah. Almost a bit too desperate. It's like, please. Yeah. And then, obviously, I love the race to each other. Yeah. In general, as a trope in general. Yeah. I loved it, but I just felt it was a bit out there for them to be, like, on a freeway. It's like, we've had all these other scenes and places, and yet we're going to end on a freeway. Yeah. Hell no.
Yeah, boy.
That was just it for me.
Like a big kiss.
But then, you know, I love Travis's realization because he's always shat on Stephen's minivan. Yeah. And it's like, I recognise that fucking minivan. Yeah. And it's like, he knows.
Yeah. I also liked, because a big obstacle for Travis to overcome or whatever was that Georgie obviously wants marriage and children and stuff, and he's like, I don't want any of that, like, if you're happy to just have a boyfriend or whatever. And she's like, I'm 23. I want kids and marriage, but I don't want it right now. Especially, she's starting her own business, and so that's just up and coming and good on Georgia. Like, she got an office space. Yeah. She hired other people because she's just a clown.
Yeah. Just a clown.
Yeah, which is fine.
A party entertainer.
Yeah, party entertainer. Which also, like, they make bank
it's a viable job.
In this society of influencer birthday parties and stuff and the social media and stuff.
She's head of the game.
Children entertainers making bank. Yeah. Every party I've been to, the face painter, the entertainer, amazing. Yeah. Cool, and also, they're like, I went to a party. Sorry.
Just go away.
And there was and she was Wonder Woman because it was a superhero party.
Oh, cool.
Not only was she Wonder Woman, she also painted faces. Yeah. And then she was a magician as well. Like,
I feel like this is Georgie.
Yeah, this is Georgie, literally. And yes, and they charge, you know, like $250 for like 2 hours. Like,
I mean, if they're providing the resources to paint as well, like, exactly. They're paying for it. But and like costumes and stuff.
Anyway, so she has an office and she has the other entertainers and stuff. So you are going to make a very big business for yourself, and it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, and I loved because we often have qualms in other books where the woman just settles down when the man's ready. Yeah. Or when the love interest, you know, is like, all right, I want to marry you now. I want to start having a family with you. But they had the conversation where they're going to take their time. They have all the time in the world now, essentially.
Or especially, in like other books, they'll be, you know, between 20 and 23 or whatever, and then the guy's like, I love you, 30. I'm going to be your boyfriend, and then in the epilogue they're pregnant. Like,
yeah, no, I love that they're at a point where they're wanting to achieve what they want to achieve in life, and then they'll eventually settle down and have their kids. And because I think Travis was more worried about not being a good person or a good husband or a good father, but he realized, you know, probably when he's, you know, working with the baseball clinic high school, like, he realizes he's probably going to be good with kids. So no, I love that.
And also I feel like, and that this is going to be a big generalization, because I know a couple of men in childcare, but also, like, childcare is predominantly like a women run industry or whatever, like, and then So it's that, and then same with teachers. Like,
funny how women-dominated industries don't get good pay.
I know.
Funny that.
I know.
Ironic.
Yeah. So just like the general careers and jobs that
Involving
involve
children,
caring for children, whatever. But even just people in general, I feel like women have that maternal like instinct and like, oh, I want to have kids and like blah blah, and like men don't have that until there's a baby.
Yeah, right.
And there's always a thing I saw. It's like a sentiment. But it's about how women will become a mum when they're pregnant, but a man won't become a dad until he's holding his baby. Because they just don't have that, like, obviously, like, kind of physical connection to, like, the womb or whatever and stuff. Like, they need the tangible evidence.
Yeah. Well, I love that description. Yeah, because ultimately, the ladies are, because if you're growing it, like, you have that connection, you have that sense of protectiveness and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. So I think, it's hard for men to...
So what I'm hearing is men just need to evolve to become pregnant, and then they can have this paternal ability. Easier said than done. Yeah. But no, I love that. And I love that, like, Georgie didn't try to change his mind either. Like, he came to this conclusion himself. Because often you see people trying to convince others. Or they hold out hoping that someone will change their mind.
This is why another reason I was really glad that there was, like, the use of condoms or whatever. Because I was really worried that it was going to be, like, a, don't worry, I'm on the pill situation. And then she would, like, get pregnant. And, like, in the epilogue, they'd have a kid or whatever. Like, and it'd be the whole, it, like, happened sooner than we expected. But, like, blah, blah, blah.
No. Loved it. Tessa Bailey, it sounds like you have a couple of new fans right now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading more of your stuff. Yeah. Talking as if she's going to listen, and I know she's not. That's all right. Maybe one day.
This might be just like a 45-minute one.
That's all right.
But that's okay. So I was going to say, do you want to go to the stars?
The stars. I think there was something else I wanted to bring up, but I wasn't sure. Oh, yeah, just with the whole fireplace situation as well. Like, the fact that he missed their appointment as well. But then he was a little bit too persistent in trying to be like, give me back this job, let me do it for you. I loved that when she accepted him to do a fireplace again, and he made it from the childhood tree house or tree or whatever, like cute. Romantic gestures and all. Because like they have those conversations as well of like little expectations in a relationship or amongst their fake dating aspect, which didn't even last that long, to be fair. Yeah. They were like, like, what does Georgie like? And she likes romantic gestures. And I feel like that coincided very well.
Oh, sorry, that's just reminded me of these, like, fake dating things.
Yep.
I think we've spoken about this before as well. In, like, proper fake dating scenarios, when the guy does do, like, the really romantic things, like he brings flowers or whatever, or he cooks dinner, and it's like, this is crossing...
How do you expect them not to fall in love with you?
This is blurring the lines. And then they get mad when they're like, well, I have feelings for you, and like, this wasn't meant to happen. And it's like, well, what do you expect when you're doing all these grand gestures? So when Travis is like, oh yeah, Georgie likes romantic things, I'll order in her favourite food, like I'll build her fireplace or whatever, and it's like, she is going to fall in love with you. Like,
to be fair, she's already in love.
She's already in love.
This is what I wanted to bring up. So I was very worried that this was going to be a cause of conflict as well, because Stephen told Travis as a guise to like get him to stop talking and hanging out with Georgie. He revealed that Georgie had like the biggest crush on him growing up and all that stuff. And I thought Travis was going to do a little mind flip and think, oh, so she's just going to get with him in order to win this trophy as well. But obviously he saw that she just genuinely cares about him as a friend and stuff and is willing to kick his ass into gear. So and I thought he was going to hold that against her, especially towards the end with their fight. But obviously that never happened. So lovely. But it just goes to show he probably like in those early moments like started developing a crush on her as well. Because
well, I think right from the get-go when she threw the takeaway at him,
he's like, this is not the same kid that I grew up with or whatever, not the same kid sister to my best friend or whatever. Quick thoughts on just like Rosie in general, like as a character. She was kind of not really important, but like
she was a bit of like a wet blanket.
A wet blanket, well, that's probably her
like,
character.
I want to start a restaurant. I can't talk to my husband about it. Blah blah blah.
He's traumatized though. He went to war
because he did go to war.
I'm very intrigued by their relationship, and I think this is a developing like little series about the different characters. So I'd be very interested into reading that. And
I did see a review because I think it's 3. So I think
I feel like it'd be the 3 ladies.
Yeah. So someone's got given this one 5 stars, the next one 3, but then the one after 5 stars again, like tools of engagement or whatever. So, which I reckon is about Bethany because like tools like.
I think so too, but in my Kindle there was for tools of engagement, there's like a first chapter situation, I think, or first look.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't read it because I was just worried about
I'll read
finishing
it and I'll let you know who it's about.
But yeah,
like maybe it's about Kristen and Stephen's journey though.
I don't care about Kristen and Stephen. Like out of all those, Kristen, whatever. Out of all the couples, I don't give a shit about them. Yeah. Like I just liked Bethany in the beginning because of the whole sibling relationship and how Georgie was never seen as or taken seriously or seen really as a part of the family. But then her turnaround made me be like, and being the strong sister support towards the end, I respect her. Yeah. So I'll read her journey and I'll read Rosie's journey. Yeah. Because how cool is it going from just like a wife to like owning your own restaurant?
Owning a restaurant, yeah.
I feel like you'd appreciate that too, chef. Yeah. But yeah, alrighty. I suppose we can go to the stars.
Yeah, but like the restaurant, like I would never open my own restaurant. That's a dumb financial move.
And everything is easy when you're rich.
When they're like, rent a space, and she's like, no, I want to own it, and I was like, first mistake.
Red flag. Yeah, she needs to take a business course or something.
All right, let us go to the flags, the stars that listen.
Red flags.
I wanted to say though, on Goodreads, this book only has a 3.6 average. Oh, okay. So I was like, oh no, and then I was like, but you know what? I like going against the grain sometimes. So,
yeah, we've been with the grain. Yeah. A bit too
anyway,
much
the
lately.
Stars That Listen is a little segment that we like to do at the end, where we pick a 1-star review and a 5-star review off Goodreads to read. We start with our 1-star because we don't like ending on a negative note. Sure. I have 2 1-stars just because one's really long and one's short.
Mine's both in my screenshot, so I'm just going to say them both.
Oh, okay. But one, like, I just had a qualm with it. Okay. So, calling your dick 2 bats isn't cute. Travis is a dummy bitch. But he didn't.
No, everyone else did.
No, everyone else did, yeah. Because, like, obviously, like, it got... I'm assuming a photo got leaked. Or, like, yeah.
Or the gossip of how big he is, whatever. Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, he didn't do it. So that's dumb. So he clearly didn't read the book properly.
Yeah. Ooh, I love getting defensive.
And then in this same one, as well, it's like, also Georgie from this book reminds me of Georgie from It. And Georgie in the book isn't a clown, but Georgie in It gets eaten by a clown. And I was like, how is this relevant? Like... She's a party entertainer. It's like Travis is the actual clown.
I got a little bit triggered because the Georgie reminded me of Ice Planet Barbarians.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, no.
Okay, sorry. And then my other 1-star is This Was Painful to Read.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Be sad.
You know, you really flip the switch when you start being defensive by the 1-star. Yeah. Because normally we just laugh at them and it's like,
I don't get, like, if they make sense, sure. But, like, he didn't, it's like calling your dick. It's like he didn't. Like, it's what everyone has put on him as society. So, like.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Anyway. Our boy Travis, we stand. Alrighty, my 2 1-star reviews. I really struggled with the pacing of the story. Everything happened way too quickly and the ending felt rushed. I didn't feel any connection with Travis and found it really hard to like or root for him. Like, it is right there though. He is sad and depressed.
Yeah. I was like, we liked it because it was fast paced. It's like, I don't want to be slogging through a 200-page book or whatever. Yeah, no. Like, I need quick and concise, to the point.
Yeah, it was almost 400 pages.
Yeah.
Like 360 or something.
Yeah.
All right, and then within the same screenshot, just because it was funny, do yourself a favor and don't read this. Rude.
But I'm sure, like, when we, like, talk about, like, Ali Haswood and, like, I hate this book, don't read
agree.
it. Like, people are probably out there, like, ugh.
Yeah, all right, 5-star review.
There's a STEM lord out there who's like, ugh.
Yeah, for sure.
My 5-star is just, holy fucking fuck, I love this book. Can't form full thoughts about it right now, but it was everything I wanted and more.
Read that first sentence again, like the whole thing.
Holy fucking fuck, I loved this book.
And then the next one.
Can't form full thoughts about it right now, but it was everything so many Fs.
So many Fs.
Imagine I had a lisp.
Do it with a lisp right now.
I don't know how to... can't form full thoughts about it right now, but it was everything I wanted and so... That's ableist, Claire.
And saying you wittily quizzled.
Wittily quizzed.
Is that not ableist? Is that not ableism as well? All right. My 5-star review. It was just a lot of Fs in like the short span of time. Yeah. I absolutely love this book. Interesting and super funny characters, an empowering women's not-so-secret club, and a hero that's extremely swoony. A great friends to lovers romance that has some super hot banter. I just want to read this over and over again. Agreed. Yeah. And yeah, loved the women supporting women, because often they're all obstacles and they're all bitches towards each other, but we love getting together. Yeah. Great. And that concludes this episode of Letterboxd Book Club. A bit of a shorty, but like it's a very concise... to the point book, and we didn't really approach it with our similar route, which I found quite nice. Yeah. just like yab it away. Fantastic. Alrighty, thanks for listening. Check us out, or check the link in the bio. Oh, you do it. I don't know.
Claire's literally just quizzing.
It's ableist, Kenzie.
Okay, sorry.
Fucking hypocrite
Find
over
us
here.
on Instagram. We are at letterbox_book_club. From there, our link tree is in our bio, where you'll find us everywhere else. TikTok, that's it. Everywhere else. And then on TikTok, our link tree is also in our bio, because we have 1,000 followers, so we are allowed to have our link tree in our bio.
Yeah, finally. Hallelujah.
So anyway, thanks for listening.
So catch us next week.
We stand Tessa Bailey.
We do, new fans.
Woo.
Hopefully the new book doesn't tip the scales.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Tune in next week for I don't know, because I don't follow the schedule. Claire does.
Hopefully the Night Circus.
Oh yes.
And hopefully it'll be on the day before my birthday, so it's my choice. Woohoo.
Which is also weeks away, but we're so organised.
This is so don't give our pre-recorded magic away. By the time this is uploaded, it should be...
Yeah. Remember that one when, I think it was the Throw Glass one, I was like, Happy Easter, yeah.
We accidentally timed it so well.
Anyway,
That was so good.
Next one I'll be like, Merry Christmas.
We made a joke like Happy Easter.
Yeah,
Next minute
it was
it's Easter. We're just so good.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thanks for listening. Check us out next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.